Hey everyone, what's going on? Thank you for taking your time out to check out this live stream tonight. And yeah, just thank you so much for taking the time out to check out the live stream. So, if anyone who hasn't kind of seen my posts or wondering, okay, well, Mike, you're live right now, what's kind of going on? So, basically, the plan is every Thursday, I'm planning to do a weekly live stream. So, essentially, this live stream is going to be, you know, like anyone can kind of join. I would like to just, maybe invite people on, talk to them, get to know people, and it's just kind of one of those things where I just wanted to be like a chilled out time, right? So to anyone that's watching now or anyone who's watching after the fact, there's just this to be like a chilled out time, relax, just come and ask any questions that you might have, and yeah, just have different guests on and stuff, So I'm not sure if anyone's watching right now because I know for the people who's maybe watching after the fact that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has literally just come out today. So I know a lot of people are probably going to be maybe at cinema right now to watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, either way, if you're just tuning in, please come and ask any questions. Come say hello. It'd be great to hear from you. And just, yeah, chill back, fun time, awesome time. And yeah, I'd say this could just be like a weekly live stream. Hoping to maybe make this like every Thursday, or it might be, every Friday. It depends on like kind of movie releases and stuff. So yeah, I'll wait for a couple more people to come in and then answer some questions. So yeah, anyone who's watching, I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a great week so far. Near enough to the weekend. Has anyone got plans for the weekend? Leave any and all comments below. Hey Ryan, how you doing, man? So hey, what's up, Mike? Listening on my way home from work. Yeah, man. Well, firstly, I hope work's been good for you. And yeah, hope you've had a chill day, whatever the case should be. And yeah, man, just hope all's good with you. I recently, just today, actually, I watched your review for the twin. Awesome, awesome review. I really like the thumbnail as well, like being like I'm Nathan and then I'm the twin. I really, really enjoyed that. So yeah, dude, thanks very much for stopping by. I hope you can tune in for the full stream. And yeah, definitely hope to have you on the stream as well one day. But yeah, man, hope you're doing good. And yeah, how was work? So yeah, for anyone else who is just tuning in, or you are tuning in right now, or after the fact, for that matter, thank you for taking time out. Again, this is gonna get chill stream, like gonna be like a Q&A kind of thing, a bit like I did for my subscriber special, but it's gonna be a weekly thing. I'm gonna have guests on every week, whether that is some of the same guests, whether it's different guests. Basically, just a chilled fun time, right? So every Thursday, ideally nearly every Thursday, basically just talking about movies, talking about whatever you guys want, or any question you have, feel free to just drop it into the chat. Certainly answer it. 9:30 tonight, so in a little bit less than 30 minutes, going to be having Elliot from I.M.O Reviews onto the stream. He is such an awesome, awesome guy and a really fast up and comer YouTuber. So it's going to be awesome to have him on. We'll get to know him a little bit, ask him some questions. You guys can have some questions as well, and feel free to ask anything at any time. Also from my Patreon, I've had two questions prepared, one from Adam and one from Michael. So big shout out to those guys for firstly being Patreon members and also leaving some questions. And if anyone is interested in joining the Patreon, the link is in the description box. Basically, on there, you guys will get exclusive access to upcoming content for the week. Right now, you can also view some videos that other people can't and just given by a private link. And also be making some exclusive videos for Patreon as well. So keep an eye out for that as well. Again, just want to thank everyone for who's a part of that. And also just thank you to everyone who is tuned in right now. It says 4 people's watching right now. So again, anyone who has any questions, feel free to drop them below. I'm more than happy just to answer anything. And yeah, just have a chat with you guys, get to know you guys as well. So yeah, I don't know if everyone's out watching Doctor Strange tonight. I think they probably will be. Thankfully for myself, I got to see. Lucky enough, today is my day off work, and I got to see a 10 a.m. showing. Otherwise, I probably would have been out tonight. But no, I got to see a 10 a.m. showing. Awesome movie. Did a spoiler-free review on my channel as well for anyone that is interested. Anyone wants to check that out. Completely spoiler-free. Doesn't touch on anything basically in the movie. Just tell you my positives and some negatives with it. Again, spoiler free. So for anyone who hasn't seen the movie as of yet, you're not getting spoilers from me anyway. I'm sure there's probably plenty out there on the internet, but not for myself. But if anyone is interested, this Sunday coming up at 10 p.m. UK time, I'm going to be doing a Doctor Strange live spoiler discussion. And right now, the guests I've got right now planned for that is Darnell from Rejected Heroes Media, Tyler Babb from Tyler Babb and the Rendered Image, and also have Cinematic Tendency. So it's going to be awesome to have Cinematic Tendency onto the channel for the first ever time as well. Got some comments here. So Trav, hey man, what's up? How's it going? Hope that you're doing good. How's work been for you? And also, if anyone is curious, Trav is going to be appearing on the channel very shortly. He's going to be joining me in Michael J. Fox filmography. Not foundation, what am I on about? That's this Parkinson's Foundation. But no, yeah, so he's going to be joining me for the Michael J. Fox filmography for Homeward Bound, and I've personally never seen Homeward Bound before, so I'm expecting it kind of be like a tearjerker. But yeah, I definitely got that one to look forward to, and Trav's going to be joining me for both movies. So yeah, keep an eye out for that for Trav. And if you're not subscribed as yet, press the red button down below, and also press the notification bell next to it so you get notified every single time I post a new video. I appreciate I've uploaded quite a bit lately, like some screeners and Back to the Future stuff kind of thing. But I've just had a lot of screeners and stuff, guys, at the moment. So that's why I've been posting a bit more than usual. And I've got some exciting content coming up, which we'll discuss very shortly. But got a couple of other questions, so let's show them. So GCX Fun is my brother. So also, just before I read the question, I just want to let everyone know, please go subscribe to my brother's channel, JCX Fun. He is an up-and-coming YouTuber. He's recently just passed 200 subscribers, which is awesome. And just a wide range of content on his channel. So, yeah, bro, thank you very much for tuning in. He says, hi, mate, just tune in. Well done on how you've done with the channel. So proud. Question. Who would be your dream guest interview on the channel besides Michael J. Fox? Well, yeah, Michael J. Fox is definitely number one. I think that's a bit of a tough one because like one thing I've really been enjoying, if you guys have been kind of like keeping up with the channel, is I've really been basically, just give me 2 seconds, guys. Just gonna block that. Sorry about that. Anyone who's seen that in the chat, just block that. Basically, just someone coming in and trying to leave Doctor Strange spoilers, and that's not allowed here. Definitely not. But I thought I'd like to let you know that you've been blocked. So thank you for being blocked. But anyway, going back to GCX Fun's question, yeah, I've been really enjoying interviewing like small time directors or first time directors and actors and actresses and stuff like that. I guess if like a dream guest, one kind of like top of my mind would be William Zabka, who plays Johnny Lawrence in Cobra Kai, or Ralph Macchio, of course, Daniel LaRusso. I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan. Joe, my brother, I know he is as well. And yeah, just think those guys would be so awesome to interview and just like a dream come true, really, because, you know, I'm obviously hooked with Cobra Kai. I've got right here, I can show you guys a signed Johnny Lawrence, sorry, just the light there, signed Johnny Lawrence Funko Pop, signed by William Zabka. And I've also got a Daniel LaRusso as well right next to him. So yeah, those would be kind of like my dream guests, I guess. How about you? Ryan says, good day for sure. Got tickets to see Doctor Strange tonight. Who's your celebrity crushes? Dude, I like straight off the bat that you've just thrown in this question. Well, firstly, I hope you enjoyed Doctor Strange tonight. I'm going to be really curious to hear your thoughts on it as well, Ryan, when you get a chance to check that out. I personally really enjoyed the movie, and that's all I'm going to say. No spoilers from me whatsoever. But yeah, man, excited that you got Doctor Strange tickets. In terms of celebrity crushes, so well, as of right now, I guess I'll just tell you guys right now. So Peyton List, who plays Tori in Cobra Kai, Selena Gomez, she's a huge one. But to be honest, like as of recently, I would probably say like Anne Hathaway. Yeah, just Anne Hathaway and Anna de Armas as well. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Trav says, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Homeward Bound. So grateful you picked me. Yeah, dude, you know, at the end of the day, if anyone knows me or any, you know, to that extent, for sure, on my YouTube channel, I love collaborating with anyone, you know, whether you're a big YouTuber, whether you're a small YouTuber, whether you're even just starting out. I always like having collaborations and collabing with different people, because at the end of the day, like for anyone who's interested as well, please go subscribe to Trav Tries, because he is a person who does YouTube videos on food and drink, which is pretty cool. He's always tasting some like different Mountain Dew, which I'm kind of jealous of because in the UK, like all the ones that we have in regular shops, it's just normal or the low sugar one. Like in America, they have like a flaming hot one that he's just recently tried, which I'm probably not going to go there due to like the one chip challenge. But yeah, dude, no, absolutely, honor is mine for you joining me for Homeward Bound. That video is going to be coming obviously in the timeline order of the Michael J. Fox filmography. This week, for anyone who is unsure, I did drop the Back to the Future Part 2, like why YouTubers love Back to the Future Part 2. Yeah, if you haven't checked that out, that's certainly on the channel as well. Basically, me and like 13 other YouTubers, we were talking about the Back to the Future Part 2 and why we like or love that movie. And again, a lot of people appeared onto that collaboration who has never been on the channel before. So it was really cool to have those on as well. And yeah, absolutely, anyone who is interested in Food and Drink, definitely go check out Trav Tries. And Trav also says here, yeah, don't waste your time. Yeah, dude, don't waste my time on flaming hot Mountain Dew. Absolutely, man. It doesn't sound pleasant. Like, it sounds like it would kind of be like, well, from your review anyway, and just kind of like general kind of feel and vibe, I guess. I think it would be kind of one of those where the first taste might be nice, but then when it gets to like your throat and it starts to maybe get like a bit of a burn, because by the sounds of it, sounds like a bit of a burn, not things like too crazy. Like that wouldn't be pleasant in a drink, because why would you then want another drink to have like your throat even burning like even more? Like, why would you do that? I mean, I get it in an extent, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, it's a different drink, it's an experience for sure. Maybe one day I'll try it, but yeah, man, not for right now. One thing, Trav, though, if you're still around, is what's your favorite Mountain Dew flavor? Obviously, besides the original, because again, in the UK, we only have like the original, the low sugar one, and I don't drink like full sugar drinks. I just drink like the diet versions. So what's your favorite Mountain Dew? Because hopefully in September, I'm coming over to Florida. So if I do, I'm definitely going to be kind of like stocked up on Mountain Dew. So yeah, man, let me know which one is your favorite. And yeah, just try to wait for some more comments and questions and stuff like that to come in. Feel free to ask anything that you want, guys. Yeah, again, just thank you for taking time out to be here tonight. Really awesome for everyone who's tuning in right now. It says we've got 4 people watching, so that's awesome. It's kind of been flickering in and out, and a couple higher, a couple lower. But yeah, just thank you for everyone for tuning in. And yeah, again, just like, how's everyone's weeks going? Or what's everyone been up to this week? Or has anyone watched any good movies? Or maybe like movie recommendations for me that I can maybe check out and add to my list, because I'm always kind of looking for movies to watch. And one video that is going to be coming up in very soon onto the channel is I'm going to be dropping a review for the first movie, Avatar, because this week we got an announcement of Avatar: The Way of Water. And yeah, I know I posted some on Facebook for anyone who doesn't have me on Facebook, though. When I went to see Doctor Strange today, they showed the trailer for the Avatar: Way of Water, like a teaser. And honestly, like, it looks like the most and best visuals I've ever seen in the movie, and that is just by like less than a 2-minute trailer. So if you get a chance to see that trailer, let me know. But honestly, it looks incredible. So GCX Burn says, I'd love to have a chance to talk to George A. Romero. Only way I could speak to him now would be through a psychic. Yeah, he passed away a couple of years ago, right? And obviously made a lot of zombie movies. GCX Fun today did drop his top 30 zombie movies. So if you guys like horror and zombies, definitely check that out. I know he referenced George A. Romero a couple of times as well in his movies. Very, very good video as well. I really, really enjoyed it. I'd love to talk to Vince McMahon and let him know how bad WWE is at the moment. Yeah, so have we got any wrestling fans in here besides myself and JCX Fun? Yeah, in terms of WWE at the moment, I think the issue is like there's no really great storylines. And the good wrestlers, like Roman Reigns, is definitely like on top of his game at the moment, and making him a heel is like the best thing that they've ever done. But besides that, like the NXT and like the whole story with like the bunny and stuff like that they did this week, that was atrocious. I don't know who thinks like in their writing department, I don't know who thinks that's funny. It's not. I mean, obviously they've got some good-looking women in those segments for sure, that's kind of about it. But yeah, like, I think the issue is like Vince McMahon, like he's gonna be there till the day he dies, and he's like in his late 70s, 80s now. So if that guy lives till 100, yeah, got 20 years left of WWE being terrible. What part of Florida are you visiting? And you should check out the movie Alligator. So, fun fact, Ryan, is so anyway, Florida. Firstly, I visited Orlando in September. Come for 2 weeks. Really looking forward to it. Been to Florida before, been there a couple of times, so I'm looking forward to that. In terms of the movie Alligator, I've actually seen that movie, and maybe like a year ago, I can't remember the exact time scale, but if you look back on my channel, I did a collaboration with my good friend Richard G, or Richard G Reviews. Great YouTuber as well, and such a funny guy. So yeah, I actually checked out do you mean the Alligator movie from like the 80s? If that's the one, and that's the one I reviewed. That movie was just dumb fun. Visually now, it doesn't fully kind of hold up, but in general, definitely a fun movie, and I recommend anyone to check it out. But thank you for the question. Trav says cherry citrus in terms of his favorite Mountain Dew flavor. It was a Game Fuel flavor that come back over the years, but right now it's no longer available. So for that, if that's available, regular's hard to beat though. There's also Livewire. Yeah, dude, see, like, we don't have any of those flavors. And it's crazy because, for example, like Pepsi Max and Coca-Cola, we have loads of flavors of those in the UK. Like, we have like so many. But then the fact of like Mountain Dew, we just have like literally regular or diet. So like cherry would be lovely in Mountain Dew. That would be phenomenal. And Livewire, you've got me intrigued. Like, what does that taste like? I'm assuming maybe like an orange, but I might be wrong. That's Mountain Dew orange soda, pretty much. Right. Okay. Well, that was a good guess. I didn't even say your comment, but that was a good guess. Yeah, I like orange drinks. like orange, like squash. I like Tropicana's nice. Fanta. I really like Fanta. So yeah, dude. Like, I'm not really picky on flavors or anything like that. Like, I'll give anything a try. Maybe besides the flaming hot one, though. But Dr. Disrespect just dropped his Mountain Dew flavor, which is cherry. So I'm hoping it's close to old cherry citrus. Okay, cool. Maybe. Do you mean like Dr. Disrespect, like Dr. Pepper? Or is that Dr. Disrespect a different brand? I'm assuming a different brand because he said Dr. Disrespect. Never heard of that brand, bro, so I can't tell you. But I'm assuming it's going to be very similar. Like, one thing I tend to find is, obviously, like Pepsi and Cola have their unique tastes and stuff, but obviously, when they do like a cherry flavor or a lime flavor or whatever the case should be, they always kind of taste similar. So I don't really see like a big difference in brand. Obviously, they've got their unique flavors, so like the orange might stand out in one flavor compared to others, but it's all very similar, I guess. But yeah, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so yeah, sorry for anyone in the chat, by the way, who's watching. Basically what's happening is I've had 2 people already here who is trying to put Doctor Strange spoilers in here, and some of them aren't even real. So, for example, there's a comment here. I'm not going to read it out for anyone who hasn't seen it, but anyone who's in the chat right now, there's a comment there about who's in the post-credit scene. That doesn't happen, so that's not really a spoiler. That's just telling you guys. But yeah, anyone who's leaving Doctor Strange spoilers right now won't be allowed in the chat simply because people haven't seen the movie yet. It's literally just come out today. But anyway, besides all that, let's kick in movies. So firstly, man, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, Mike, how's it going, mate? Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you? Just asking, what's your thoughts on John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China? Never seen the movie. I know you might be shaking your head. You might be thinking, Mike, how have you not seen Big Trouble in Little China? It is on my watch list. I'm intrigued to see it because John Carpenter is an awesome filmmaker. The original Halloween, of course, is awesome. He's done some other great movies as well. And yeah, I think he's a great filmmaker. I would like to see him kind of maybe make like a brand new movie as like an original movie, or maybe bring into like an original idea into the horror franchise. Maybe that could become like a legacy, because obviously, Halloween's well established, Michael Myers is well established, but I would like to see maybe like a new a new legacy from him. I think that would be pretty cool. So we'll wait and see what he does. But thank you for the question. Again, let's get movies. I hope you're doing good. And what about you? What's your thoughts on Big Trouble in Little China? If you've seen the movie, is it any good? Yeah, let me know. If I should definitely be checking that out. It's on my watch list. Sorry. So yeah, let me know. Ryan says, what is one franchise you believe is overrated? Okay. Well, this is an interesting one. So, for me, hold on. Because there's a couple, right? There's so many that, people hype up so much and they think, this is amazing. And then it's really not. I would say for me, I've never been the biggest fan of the Hunger Games. Now, I know, Ryan, that might be a bit sacrilege because I know that you recently did just buy like the box set of them. So for me, like, don't get me wrong, like, Jennifer Lawrence is awesome. Like, she's an awesome actress, and I've seen her in movies outside of the Hunger Games, and she's great. And don't get me wrong, even in the Hunger Games, she's great. But I think the issue is, it's just like, for me, they're good movies. By all means, I'm not going to sit here and be like the terrible movies because they're absolutely not. I think for me, though, they get way too much hype over them when there's better series out there, and there's like, for example, right? So Hunger Games obviously based on books. I've never read the books, so I can never tell you, like, look, the books are way better. I mean, Trav here says the books are way better, so I'm assuming they are. But I've never seen them. But going back to the question, so thank you, Trav, for telling me that the books are better. I've never read them. But I think for me is like the movies, like the first one is awesome, and the second one's pretty cool as well. But then like the last two, the parts 1 and 2, like Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, I just think like it kind of was a bit much, or like not much happened to an extent, especially like Part 1, apart from like the ending, which kind of like obviously left it into Part 2. But for example, if you take that, say, I know it's not the same, but if you compare that to, say, Avengers Infinity War is non-stop. It's awesome. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of story there. And it really built up to that second installment. And that second installment pays off. Whereas in the first one, we get some developments for sure. But then ultimately, when the second one part's awesome. I prefer the second part personally to the first part. And I might be the only one in that matter. But I think there's not enough that happens in that first part. In that movie alone, that really kind of gives enough, right? And yeah, sorry guys, just people again trying to come in and spoil Doctor Strange, which is not going to happen here. So let's have a look. What movie are you most excited to see this year? Avatar. Avatar looks awesome. The Way of Water and the teaser trailer today looks really, really good. I would say besides that, Thor: Love and Thunder looks good. Obviously, being a Marvel fan, I'm excited for that one. And being honest, I don't know about a lot of movies coming out this year because they kind of get annoying close near the time. Because I know, like, Top Gun Maverick, for example, is coming out. I've never seen the first one, so I'm going to watch the first one before seeing the new one. But I would say for myself, I would say Thor: Love and Thunder. I would say the new Avatar movie towards the end of the year. I think that's going to be awesome. Again, the visuals look incredible just from teaser. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And it's been 10 years since the last one, so surely they've got something to really kind of bring to the table. And also Lightyear. So obviously, like, Buzz Lightyear's kind of origin, or I'm pretty sure it's like an origin story, which is going to directly tie into Toy Story, which you think it would. So Lightyear looks pretty good. The first trailer wasn't really anything special, but then the second trailer was awesome. I really, really liked it. And from there, I'm kind of more sold on the second part. Sorry, the movie now, seeing the second part of that trailer. So yeah, I would say Lightyear. But yeah, also for anyone who is here as well, tuning in or after the fact, or especially tuning in right now in the live chat, some weirdos or some randos here are trying to keep coming and trying to add in Doctor Strange spoilers. So any of them that's coming in, I am blocking those users. just trying to basically get rid of them so no one sees spoilers. Not saying that all these, by the way, like any of these that come in aren't true. So I managed to be able to block those out, but just giving you guys heads up for people who is trying to spoil them. It's just like for here, it's not going to be tolerated. So, and then I know a lot of you guys haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. Last thing I want is for you guys to get spoiled, because for me, before going into the movie, when I just went on my YouTube homepage, like people obviously being in the cinema, pirating movies or pirating video, I've been putting on like cameos. So obviously a lot of those came up my YouTube homepage before I even saw the movie. So some cameos, because there is some in this movie, that's all I'm going to say, I got spoiled for me personally, so I don't want that to happen to you guys. So again, anyone like that coming into this chat will be blocked immediately. But yeah, anyway, again, just want to thank everyone for tuning in right now. A couple of minutes time, actually, we're going to be joined by Elliot from I.M.O Reviews, who, if you guys aren't familiar, he is also a YouTuber based here in the UK. He is an awesome guy, a really, really fun guy as well, and he's fastly on the rise as well. He's just hit over 150 subscribers as of recently. So, sorry, I'm just going to close the window. Sorry about that. It was a loud noise outside, so I don't really want that distracting, and you guys can't hear me. But yeah, anyway, Elliot is joining in a couple of minutes' time maximum. And yeah, we're going to just talk about movies. We're going to talk about anything that you guys have, like question-wise and stuff. So yeah, feel free to leave any of those, and Elliot and I will answer them. And again, got a couple of questions from the awesome guys, Adam and Michael, from our Patreon, and we'll answer those as well, because I kind of want to wait till Elliot comes and we'll both answer them. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. But again, for anyone who's tuning in right now, how's your day going? How's your week going so far? Yeah, hope you're all having a great week. And JCX Fun, if you're still watching, what content have you got coming out? Or Trav, what content, and Ryan, what content have you guys got coming out this week that everyone can look forward to? And yeah, if you're unsubscribed and you're not subscribed to those channels, go subscribe to all those channels, because all those guys are awesome. Just get a drink. So yeah, I haven't got any questions at this moment in time, but yeah, so one thing I'll do is I'm going to show you guys very quickly some of my pop figure collections for anyone who can see, because they're always in the background of my videos, but maybe you guys can't see them properly from there. So I've got this one from Chosen Jacobs, who plays Mike Hanlon in the new It movies. So that is signed by Chosen Jacobs. Really, really cool Funko. And that's the only one I've got from the It series. But yeah, so I've got that one. Also, we talked about Cobra Kai earlier. I've also got one from Ralph Macchio. So Daniel also plays Daniel Russo in Cobra Kai. So that one's signed by him. And it also says Wax On as well. So I've got that one. And yeah, also got some here. So I've got Michael J. Fox. That one is kind of like my holy grail one. Michael J. Fox signed Funko, which is awesome. Met the guy in 2015. Such an incredible experience. And then I've also got a Tom Wilson, who plays Biff, signed Funko. And I've also got a Christopher Lloyd signed Funko as well. So they're the only Back to the Future ones I've released so far. So I'm hoping they're going to release more of them. And yeah, I'm hoping they're going to release more Funkos so I can get more of them signed, especially Back to the Future ones. Like, there's so many Back to the Future characters, but every time they release Back to the Future merch, it's always Marty and Doc. And I know they're the most iconic figures, but I wish we'd have like a Jennifer Parker, you know. So Ryan here says, I got a screener for a movie called The Sadness I'll Be Ruined. Yeah, man, I got that screener as well from Shudder, I believe. I've heard it's meant to be like a crazy movie, and I've heard actually some like cool reviews. Well, not cool reviews, but like cool comments, because I think some people got to see it, because I think it premiered earlier in cinemas this week in the UK. So yeah, The Sadness I've heard good things about. Yeah, so for anyone who's just catching up, some people are trying to put in the chat right now Doctor Strange spoilers, which a lot of them aren't true. Well, actually, none of them are true. So just to give you guys a heads up, for anyone who's posted them, I'm blocking the user straight away and blocking everything about this, so none of you guys have to see any of that rubbish. That's not here. And then no one's seen Doctor Strange yet, or very few people have. So I'm not going to have it spoiled for anyone, you know. So yeah, definitely keyboard warriors, I guess. Playtendo Guy, hey man, how's it going? Yeah, Pete from Playtendo Guy. He does Blu-ray pickups. He does physical media collections. He also does a lot of video game reviews as well. So awesome guy. Quite close as well to 1,000 subscribers, I believe. So please go join Playtendo Guy and go subscribe to his channel as well. He's such an awesome guy. And is that a cyberpunk chair? It is, man. Not sure if you can see that. Yeah, let me see if I can show you guys the back. So, I mean, you can't see it properly. It is a Secret Labs one. But yeah, man, so I managed to get that chair. So the crazy thing is, these Secret Labs chairs are normally like £400 plus, brand new. I managed to get this one, which is 6 months old, by someone off Facebook Marketplace, and it's in immaculate condition. I made sure there was nothing wrong with it whatsoever before inspecting and buying it. £150. So a big difference. And honestly, one of the most comfortable chairs I've had in my life, especially with my job is working from home. So absolutely amazing. So yeah, awesome chair as well, by the way. Definitely recommend it. So yeah, so we've got here, let's get kicking movies reply. So he asked me what were our thoughts on Big Trouble in Little China. I've never seen the movie, so I've asked him what his thoughts are, and he says it's a whole lot of fun with Monsters and Evil Sorcerers when it came out first in '86, and it was a box office bomb, and it did gain a cult on VHS run. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So there's a lot of movies that have had a VHS run or they get a DVD run, but they absolutely tank at the box office. But when they get that physical media release, they take off. They gain like a cult following, and that kind of also helps like develop any sequels and stuff like that. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy. But it sounds like an awesome, fun movie. At the end of the day, I'm always up for watching any movie. If it's terrible, I'll never go back and revisit it, more likely. But yeah, really looking forward to that movie, man. Thank you for telling me about that. And yeah, it sounds awesome with like monsters and evil sorcerers and stuff. Like that sounds really cool. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking it out. And I'm glad that you had fun with it. How many times have you seen it? That's the question. Cinematic, hey dude, how's it going? So yeah, Cinematic Tendency is going to be joining me on Sunday for a live stream spoiler discussion of Doctor Strange. So that is going to be fun. And Cinematic Tendency is an awesome guy. He does a lot of figure unboxings, but he also does movie reviews when he just got out of the cinema of seeing a movie. So definitely go and check him out. Such an awesome guy. Ryan says, have you ever decided to do Blu-ray hunting videos? So this is a fun one and a good question. So what happened is, up here, I can't really show you guys without grabbing them, but up there, I've maybe got about 6 or 7 like physical media. And when I've got about 6 or 7 physical media, that's all I've had. So I am thinking about actually building up a physical media collection, because a lot of movies I would like on Blu-ray or 4K, I haven't got quite yet. And I would really love to. So I'm actually thinking of doing a series called Starting a Physical Media Collection, where like weekly I'll go out and buy some physical media. So yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that. And just before we carry on, guys, I just want to bring in Elliot from I.M.O Reviews. Hey, dude.
Hiya, how are you?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not doing too badly. Doing quite well. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the channel as well.
Of course, man. Absolute pleasure. And yeah, thank you for taking your time out to do this. Basically, before you got here, just been getting answered like a lot of questions. We've been getting some keyboard warriors in here trying to put Doctor Strange spoilers in.
Oh,
so
no.
yeah, so I've been cancelling like all of those out. So yeah, dude. How are you anyway, man?
Yeah, doing quite well. It's been a pretty busy day today. It's been non-stop from this morning. I myself had to go and see Doctor Strange. Earliest viewing I can. You know what it's like. You have to get your video up ASAP before it just gets swamped with everybody else's. And then from there, I had to carry on with work. As a small-time YouTuber, we still got to pay the bills. So I had to get back to work straight after that. And now we're here. So, yeah, the day sort of has flown by a little bit for me.
Right. Yeah, man. So I was talking to Elliot a little bit early before the stream and like a bit early on in the day. And he's like, tell me that. He's like, oh, so I've been to see Doctor Strange. I've got like multiple videos out. I've done my shopping and stuff for the day. I was like, dude, have you stopped for the day? Obviously not.
And there's still no rest. The schedule still gets pretty crazy for the next few days. Maybe some point next week I might be able to take a break.
Right. Oh, dude, hopefully before then.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But yeah, man, honestly, well, firstly, pleasure to have you on the channel. We've currently got some people watching right now, and obviously people will be watching after the fact as well. So
Yeah.
we've got some questions in, so we'll answer them in a second. But for anyone who's unfamiliar, I came across Elliot's channel maybe a couple of months ago, maximum. And the guy mainly posts like movie reviews and stuff, and we're going to hear from him in a second. But his content's awesome. Such an awesome guy. When he reviews movies, it's basically just like a casual chat. I feel like it's casual chat anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Nah, no worries, dude. So, so anyone who's watching it after the fact, do you want to just introduce yourself and tell everyone like what your channel's about?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That was really kind words, actually. That was hard not to smile my way through that. So I.M.O Reviews has been around for a little over a year now. This is the start of my second year as a YouTuber. And the main goal was to talk about movies. That was my first goal. And actually, as I've got more confident in doing that, I've decided to branch out a little bit, step into TV shows, video games, maybe even some books and comics. I've done one music album and it got a reasonably good feedback, actually. I was quite surprised because I thought that one might sink compared to, because it's just so out of the norm, but it actually did quite well. So I was quite proud of that. A lot more collaborations as well. It's nice to build a community and meet other people who do similar to me and can relate to what I do and how it goes. Because when you speak to friends who don't do this, they sometimes just look at you and think, what are you doing? What's the point? I don't get it. So to have people who understand is really great. I've met some awesome people through doing this. I've just sort of fell in love with it. I've kind of started doing this by pure accident. And yeah, so I think it's going to be sticking around, so unfortunately for you guys.
No, dude. So, well, firstly, before I kind of comment on that, anyone who is unsubscribed or not subscribed to I.M.O Reviews right now, the link is in the description box. Go to his channel, go subscribe to him, and tell him that you saw him on the live stream, or tell him that Mike sent you, or whatever the case would be. Just go tell him hello, and go check out his videos, because again, the guy is been on this just over a year. He's grown very quickly. I recently did an album review of Pusha T that I saw. I've never heard of Pusha T in my life, but I still watched the video.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, and no, it was an awesome review though, because it really broke down like what the CD was like, or what the album was like, what was good, what was bad, what you liked about it, and for anyone who hasn't heard that music before, what they can expect going into listening to that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of my plan. I did watch a couple of much bigger YouTubers review the album. And as I watched them, I thought it was great, but it wasn't me. If I was to do that, it would be really fake, and I think it would really show. So I just applied the same strategy that I do to my movies and spoke to people normally and treated them like humans. I suppose that's all I ever try to do as I go into them. Just try and keep it on a basic level, not too pretentious, but also make enough of a point that it holds some weight, if that makes sense.
Right. No, yeah, 100%. Because, like, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of YouTubers out there, you know, whether they're bigger or smaller, who go into like the tiniest of details and give those very thorough explanations, and they're awesome. Don't get me wrong. But like for myself, this is just me personal preference. I like watching people who review, you know, movies or food, you know, whatever the case should be, and who just keep it like simple, just down to earth, terms that I can understand.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I can't understand the very explanation ones, but I just want to like straight to the point, right? What's good, what's bad, overall, done. I'm out there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My family members, most of them have kids, so they try and support my channel and watch it, and they actually say a lot because they're so busy or tied up. It's so much easier to digest a short 6-minute video that you can just put on your phone, put it to one side whilst you get on with the washing up, rather than a maybe a 45-minute huge lengthy thing that you have to sit and really pay attention to. Maybe that's something for when there's nothing on the telly at night.
Right. No, man, definitely got to agree. So we've got some comments in here. Actually got quite a few. So what we'll do, guys, is Elliot is here, so we're going to answer these questions together. So Elliot, just before you joined, we had a couple of people in here. You know, asking questions. I asked them like what YouTube content they've got coming out. So we've got JCX Fun, who's actually my brother. who's recently started YouTube, maybe about a year ago as well.
Yeah.
So I asked him like what videos he's got, and he said he's doing a one chip challenge.
Oh yeah.
Which if you guys didn't see recently, I did the peak quai, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but I did the one chip challenge. Awful, absolutely awful, dude. I don't recommend it.
I salute you. I salute you. I do like spicy food, but my body doesn't. If I was to do that, this would just be a waterfall. I would just be sweating and bright red and panicking for my life. So I absolutely salute you for that.
Well, thanks, man. It wasn't great, honestly. In that video, you can literally see tears coming from my eyes. That's how bad it was. And he said, and he also said he's going to try to do the biggest kebab in the northeast. So that's going to be interesting.
I bet that's pretty big as well, to be fair.
Dude, some of the food up here, like I'm pretty sure there's a place that does like a 32 or 36-inch pizza.
Oh, blimey. The biggest you can get around here, I think, is about 18. So that's like double what we get here. That's crazy.
Jeez. Dude, when you come visit the northeast, there's plenty of stuff that I need to show you.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. Awesome,
dude. Yeah, me too. We've also got Classic Reviews saying just, hey, man. Well, hey, fellas, I guess you're saying. So, hey, Classic, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Cinematic says, got a new toy. So, Cinematic Tendency, he's also in our YouTube group. Awesome guy. He does like movie reviews, but he also does unboxing. He gets like those like elite scale figures and unboxes them.
Oh, nice.
So he said, got a new toy 2 days ago. Can't wait to open it in an unboxing video. Yeah, me neither. I'm looking forward to that. Have you seen Elliot? Have you seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Do you know, I have seen it, but I've only ever seen it the once. I don't really know why. There's no reason to, because I liked the movie, at least from what I remember of it. But it just hasn't really ever popped up again for me. It's probably one I could do with revisiting it. But from what I remember of it, I do remember having a really good time with it. I remember my dad really enjoys it as well. I think it's one of his personal favorites.
Oh, awesome. Because, yeah, Let's Kick the Movie said that he loves the movie. He's seen it 6 times. I've seen it before. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
So it's cool to hear that you like it as well. Kind of gives me a bit more like solidarity to be like, right, I'll go check it out.
Oh, definitely. I think it's worth your time. I remember it being a lot of fun. It's like, I think, yeah, predominantly the action in it's pretty solid from what I remember for an 80s flick. I think it's an 80s flick.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Is it 80s or is it a 70s flick? I can't actually remember now.
Let's have a look. So when I was saying about Doctor Strange, yeah, Josh. So basically, anyone who's been coming in about Doctor Strange spoilers, just been blocking them straight away and just hiding a comment. They haven't put anything correct, by the way, but just anyone who's been putting it in. So we've got quite a bit more here. Let's have a look. Is there any more movies you want to see this year? So I spoke a little bit before about movies I'm excited to see this year. So Elliot, what about you? What movies do you want to see this year?
Well, I suppose a disappointing one, because I've just recently heard that the Spider-Verse movie has now been delayed to next year. And I have to admit that was probably my pick for this year that I was really counting down the days to. I don't really know what else is due to come out now because of all these dates consistently changing. What were your choices? Maybe your choices might spark my memory as to what I'm looking for.
Well, the four movies that I know is coming out this year, and then besides that, I think it's just like if they actually come out. So we've got Lightyear, so the new Buzz Lightyear movie.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we've got that one. We've got Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I've never seen the first one, so I'm going to watch the first one obviously before I go see the new one. We've got Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yes, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
It looks good. Looks interesting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And Avatar 2 in December.
Yeah, I actually, funnily enough, I've finally seen the trailer for it because it was just before Doctor Strange today. I have to admit, it did pique my interest because I'm not crazy about the first one, but the trailer did do enough to make me think, yeah, go on then, I'll check it out.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you, Elliot, so I went on record earlier on Facebook and I said it in the stream as well. So when I saw that Avatar trailer today, and a bit like you, I like the first one, but not, overhyped on it or anything like that. But I'm actually going to revisit and review it probably next week or the week after.
Yeah.
When I saw that trailer today, I think it's got to be the best visuals I've seen in a movie, and that was just from like a minute and a half trailer. I was like, it looked like kind of like forget 8K, it was like 12K. I was like, what is this?
It was very brief, but I did have the same moment of, oh wow, there was just a
Right.
shot of one of the avatars' faces, and the way their lips moved, it was actually too real. It was a little bit scary in that sense of you feel like you could touch it and it would feel like something. It's a bit
Yeah.
uncanny in that sense. Yeah, I am looking forward to it in that sense. James Cameron definitely knows how to push the boundaries.
Oh, dude, definitely. And I mean, you know, if it's taken 10 years to get into that kind of technology and look like that, I'd rather than take probably 10 years to do another one, you know?
Yeah, it's strangely inspiring actually to still have a director like that, because so much media today is so rushed and forced to a deadline. We need to get it out. We need to make profits, especially in video games. God, I can't tell you how many video games I've picked up and they're just broken on release. They just don't work. So it's really nice to see a director care so much that it's perfect before anybody sees it. It's quite nice that people like that are still around.
Yeah. I do got to agree. I think, like, you know, video games is definitely a good one. I think one of the biggest ones is my chair, which is Cyberpunk.
God, yeah.
You know, that's one of the biggest ones. But, you know, I think it definitely goes to show in movies because, I mean, we can always touch on this subject later as well and then people ask questions. But, like, for example, we recently had The Batman. And that movie, you know, obviously with COVID probably helped the delays, but it had like 5 years to be produced. And at the end of it, we got a solid movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a movie that's going to be remembered for years because it had the time, it was fleshed out, they polished up on the CG work or the you know, cinematography, whatever the case should be. Yeah. And I think Avatar, same thing. You know, everyone, whether you don't like it or not, you remember Avatar from 2012. I think it was 2012.
Yeah, blimey, I think it was actually. Wow.
But everyone knows that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone remembers the whole record-breaking thing as well, that is between Endgame and Avatar. Yeah.
Well, I think Avatar's going to reclaim it because from what I've heard, it's going to be re-released in September.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know if they put it in 4K, and then I think they're going to release like a 4K copy.
Yeah.
So I think
when it comes back,
I think when it comes back in cinemas, it'll take the crown again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so. It's a good strategy to get your people in and get them excited for the new one as well.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We've got a lot of questions, so I mean, we're going to probably be here for a long night. So very quickly, we've got Let's Get Kicked Movies asking, what are your top 5 horror movies?
Oh, this is a good question. I do love horror. I have to admit, horror is something I've fallen in love with more so now that I'm a grown up. Apparently I'm a grown up than when I was a kid. As a kid, I was terrified of the idea of watching a horror movie. All of my siblings were older than me and they forced me to watch things like Wolf's Creek. And I was sitting there like this all the time. I hated the experience. But I've got into it much more recently. The Wailing sits in my mind for a very recent watch. That just put chills down my spine. The Wailing did. It's a very spooky movie. I think it's on Amazon Prime now, actually, free to watch on there. Oh, some more. The Babadook. I know it's a bit of a cliche to throw that out there, but I really do like the Babadook. I like how much I find myself thinking about the story and what deeper meanings are actually being discussed. It's nice accessibility to it as well. It's not too confusing or jarring in that sense. I have to throw a classic in there, being the original Nightmare on Elm Street. That's always been a personal favorite of mine. Oh God, so I need 2 more now. Hereditary. I remember watching that in the cinema and having a wonderful time.
Nah, I can't agree.
No, not a fan.
I'll get that some other time, but I can't agree though.
One more. I'm trying to look through my DVD list behind me just in case I can see anything to inspire me. And typically I can't see anything now. Actually, I've just seen one. Get Out. I'd say that's a pretty good shout, actually, for a horror movie. That's definitely in my top 5. So I think, that would be my top 5 horror movies, pulling it off the top of my head anyway.
Well, man, that's a cool top 5 because also recently on Elliot's channel and also on The Movie Man's, they did a top, like, what WTF movies. And there was, like, Hereditary was mentioned in there. It's a good question. And same for me. I've not seen some of the original horrors.
Yeah.
So like some of my favorites are like the newer ones. So for example, like I love like the original It. I love that, but that was more of like a mini kind of thing, whereas they actually made the movies a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I love like the new ones and stuff. But I'm gonna leave that question for Elliot. So Elliot to answer that one. I'll answer it some other time because mine's kind of more of a modern list, but I need to have like a really think about it because one question that came in Elliot was from Ryan, and he's asking me like if I have like a physical media collection, and I've got like maybe like 7 in total, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of doing like a physical media series on my channel and like calling it like starting a physical media series where I actually go out and vlog, like me going to the shops and be like, I'll maybe buy some Blu-rays. So I'll answer that question next Thursday. Pencil that in the diaries. I'll answer it next Thursday. Play Attendance Guy says, thoughts on Ghostbusters Afterlife. So have you seen this movie?
I have, yeah. I don't know if people are going to like my opinion on the movie, though. I found it a little bit soulless, to be honest. It did feel, I could feel the company's hands on the project, and I could feel them saying, we need to do this so that we can sell products to such and such. And I consistently felt that throughout. But then again, I also do feel like, personally, I think Ghostbusters is fine as a one and done. I feel like just the one movie, it didn't really ever need a sequel, personally, in my mind. But ever since we've had one, it's sort of gotten out of control, and we have maybe, is it now 3 or it's 4 Ghostbusters movies now? So yeah,
we don't talk about the 2016 one.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to mention it. So there are parts of it I like, I must admit, especially stuff with the Ecto one. I'm one of those people that when there's an awesome car and it's revving its engine and it's going for it, I can't help but just feel like, yes, get in there. That's what I want. So yeah, it's not awful, but I don't think I'll be revisiting it anytime soon, personally.
Yeah, I think I've got to agree. So without spoilers, because for anyone who's not seen the movie, because I didn't see it for like a couple of months until after it came out. I think the same as you. Like I enjoyed elements of it, and I think kind of the original kind of story arc was good. And then they do something for like an emotional finale, which was good. But I did feel emotion.
Yeah,
but I guess it was kind of like a bit of a cop out with what they did. So that's our opinions on Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ryan, he's actually got a question for you, Elliot. He says, I.M.O Reviews. What's a movie you watched and didn't like at first, but later rewatched and enjoyed it?
Do you know, funnily enough, there's a few of them. It's probably because I'm a bit of an idiot and I don't get it straight away. That's normally what's stopping me from liking it. I end up walking out going, what was that all about? But actually, it just took further education and learning from me to go, oh, this movie's actually really clever. It's got a lot to say. A big one for me actually would be There Will Be Blood. And I think it's because there was so much hype for me to go and see it. I was underage at the time. Slapped wrist, not advice to people. But I tried to sneak in to go and see the movie and I got turned away. So I only hoped my ambition, like when I finally get my hands on this, I'm going to watch this movie. And I think I finally rented it from Blockbuster. That's how far back we're going. Dude. And I just did not get it. There wasn't any blood. Like, what was this movie all about? Why is it all about oil? But again, I can see why I was turned away from the screening. I was too young. I didn't understand the deeper context of this movie. But now I do. I feel like I learn something new every time I watch it again, actually. I still feel like if I put it on today, I'd come away with something fresh from it. So definitely There Will Be Blood.
Oh, cool. Well, I've never seen it. Is that Daniel Day-Lewis?
That's the one, yeah. And Paul, I don't know how you say his surname. Is it Dano or Dano? The Riddler, the new Riddler from Batman.
I usually say Dano, but I'm probably...
The pair of them together, you can imagine what the performances are like, because both of them are absolute rock stars, but together, it's explosive.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, that one's on my list. I've seen the DVD cover so many times, but I've just never seen the movie.
Yeah.
So, like, because a lot of people will say to me, they'll be like, "Oh, Mike, like, how have you not seen X movie?"
Yeah.
But like, growing up, and it's probably different for both of us. but like I would get shown Toy Story a lot.
Yeah.
And like I'd be shown like the same movies, but a lot of times. And it's not because my parents were like, right, that's the only movie you're watching. It's because like I'd always be like, Mom, can we put this on? Can we put it on? And
Oh
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
And I think because of that, and only like for me, I started going to cinemas, kind of like I actually started going by myself in 2015. Because before then, you know, when I was a bit younger and like in school and stuff like that, you'd go with your school friends, but if none of them wanted to go, you wouldn't see that movie.
Yeah.
So kind of like in 2015, when I started to get a little bored, I was like, well, why should I miss out on these movies? So if you ask me if I've seen any movie from 2015 onwards, I'd probably be like, yeah, I've seen them. But like before then, I've seen some, but not loads, you know.
Yeah, I have pretty much the exact same experience. One I watched to death as a kid was Fox and the Hound, and I don't really know why, because that movie's depressing. I don't know if maybe as a kid, perhaps I wasn't really taken in the story, and I think what a lot of it was the fox was ginger, and I was much more ginger as a kid. So I was like, I relate to the fox. I like the fox. So I do know what you mean. You just have a go-to movie as a kid, and actually, my nieces and nephews, even today, they have their sort of comfort watches. They love Finding Nemo. You chuck Finding Nemo on any time of day, they'll sit down and they'll watch it. And exactly the same in going to the cinema. When I was at school, I would always go with friends, but my friends weren't as in love with movies as I was. So I'd often have a much deeper dive on it than they would. They would often just say, yeah, it was all right, or no, it's not for me. Whereas I'd have a much, oh yeah, what about the editing? What about the cinematography? And they might not have even noticed it. So same as you, after a while, I just sort of built up the courage and said, screw it, I'm going on my own. I don't care if people stare at me when they walk in. I'm watching this movie because I want to see it. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. I went into Doctor Strange today by myself, and it was absolutely packed in there. And I just didn't even bat an eyelid. It was just like, yeah, I'm here too.
Yeah, well, exactly, man. And I think it's like one of those where for anyone who's kind of like wary, like, you know, probably like the start of like when we first ever went to the cinemas, like by ourselves, we were probably be like, this is going to be weird.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
yeah.
But now I'm like, majority of the time, I'm just like, I want to go by myself. I guess like just as we grow older, we actually don't mind it.
Yeah.
And I think
absolutely.
especially doing YouTube, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, man, no, it's a cool story about Fox now. That's actually quite interesting, but it is an interesting movie.
It is. I don't know why I liked it.
Favorite Tom Cruise film? Dude.
Ooh.
So I think for me, one of the biggest standouts lately have been the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, it did come to mind.
As they go on, like that guy, he's still doing his own stunts. And he's like jumping out of helicopters. He's on motorcycles, flipping off a bridge. And like the new one, like the leaked photos, it's crazy.
I think did he break both legs in the last movie doing one stunt? Like it's a hell of a commitment that guy has to doing the movies. It's pretty wild.
Dude, yeah, he broke I don't know if it was both or one leg, but yeah, it was like when he was like jumping from like the building to the building, like he landed wrong.
Yeah, that's right. I think he sort of smashed against the building, didn't he? Yeah. That's a really good question. I actually really like Tom Cruise. I know he's a bit strange, and I don't know how easy it would be to have a sit-down conversation with him, but I think he's actually a really good actor. He's so varied. When you think about things like Vanilla Sky to Mission Impossible to Eyes Wide Shut, he really does have quite a lot of range. I still stand on Collateral, though. I think Collateral is probably still my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
I agree, 100%.
It's so well written.
And to be fair, it's probably one of the few roles he plays a villain.
Yeah. I can't think of any other off the top of my head.
No.
Yeah, it's a superb movie. It's got such a good intensity to it. It's written so sharply. The fat's fully cut from that film.
Oh, dude, yeah, 100%. So, yeah, Play Tendo, our favorite movie is Collateral. I'm glad we actually agree now. That's pretty cool. Talking about kebab, I could die for a Jolly Delight pizza from my local chippy right now. Yeah, do you like kebabs?
I do like a kebab. What's a Jolly Delight pizza, though?
I don't know if Joy Delight is just like a takeaway.
Oh, right. I didn't know
I've
if
never
it
heard
was like
of Joy
a special
Delight.
cuisine.
I've never heard of a Joy Delight pizza, unless that's like especially in a certain like takeaway. I don't know, dude. I've never heard of it. Playtendo says that he's just subbed to you, Elliot.
Oh,
So
thank you. Much appreciated.
for anyone who's watching you, if you're not subbed to Elliot or watching after the fact, go subscribe to him. He's quite close to 200, so I'd love maybe after the stream he's on 200. That would be awesome.
I'd appreciate it.
Nintendo, thanks for subscribing to him.
Thank you.
We got Josh saying favorite Mia Isabella film. Who's that?
Yeah, I have to say the same. I don't know who that is either. I feel like I've heard the name before, though. It certainly rings a bell, but
I'm going to quickly Google it on my laptop.
Mia Isabella.
Mia Isabella. Nah, dude. So I've got them on Google here, but I'm not. Yeah, no idea who it is. Been in a lot of odd TV stuff, I guess.
Oh, right. Sort of an obscure name.
Yeah. Looking forward to Avatar 2. Yeah, we were just discussing that earlier. It looks awesome. Saying that Lisa Ann is going to be in it. Don't know who's that. No. Nah.
No idea on that one.
Just watched Top Gun on Sunday, like 30 years late. Got a ticket to Maverick already. So cinematic. I've never seen Top Gun. So
I have, but it was a very long time ago. It's not a personal favorite of mine. I think it was a little bit hyped up. It's quite a well-regarded movie, and then when I finally sat down and watched it, I was a bit like, oh, is that it? Okay, but it's still enjoyable. I think it is just the over expectation of it for me that didn't quite work. But I have to admit, having seen the trailer for this new one, it's similar again to what we were saying about Tom Cruise. It just looks out of this world. Some of the shots in the trailer alone is breathtaking. Right. So if that's the trailer, what's the movie going to be like?
Oh yeah, no man, I've got to agree. Like some of the shots, especially like the aerial and just like in the cockpit alone.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued as well. But I'm definitely going to be checking out Top Gun. At some point, because obviously I'm not going to go see the second one if I haven't seen the first one. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a bit of a random one. What's your opinion on CEX's terrible stickers?
I'm
so
not aware
I
of
pronounce
them.
it CEX. Some people pronounce it like I don't know, something else, but CEX. Yeah, I guess they're annoying.
We don't really have a CEX nearby. We're aware of them. They're in the area, but there's not one that's that close. So I have to admit, I don't really know about their stickers, I'm afraid. Sorry.
The only experience I've had about the stickers is so they usually have like one at the bottom to tell you the price, and then have one at the top being like love our consoles thing, and like basically an advertisement is like trading your stuff. And usually when you peel them off, they usually leave like the sticky grubby marks on the cover.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I guess opinion on my end is terrible.
Yeah.
I wish they'd just spend a bit extra money and develop some better stickers.
Yeah, now I know what you mean. I have picked up a few like that, and it is annoying. When you take it out, it's just always there, that weird murky circle on your disc, on your casing. Yeah.
Nothing worse, because then you have to replace the case.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite video games?
Oh, that's tough.
Good one.
I probably have to say Bioshock, because that game, I was so hooked to that once I got into it, and I was so hooked to the story as well as much as the gameplay. Right. And I was actually quite good at it. I'm not very good at video games, so when I find a game I'm actually quite good at, even better. And I have to admit, I believe Netflix are making a rendition of it. I'm not sure if it's a show or a movie. Okay. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know how well it's going to go down. I'll give it a chance. I don't know if maybe it's my sort of inner fan that's worried about it. But yeah, I'd have to say Bioshock, because that game took over my life once I dived headfirst into it.
Right. Yeah, Bioshock's an awesome choice. I didn't know about the Netflix announcement.
Yeah, I heard it a couple of months back, but now that actually Netflix have had all their problems, maybe it's actually up for debate. Right. I'm not sure.
I think it could work well as like a mini series.
Yeah.
I don't think a movie though, because there's a lot of explanation about the Big Daddy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think as like an animated series though, and like really like good budget behind it, I think it could be really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think doing it animated could look really nice artistically as well, with all the water effects and things like that. I think that could look really nice.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of my kind of favorite video games, so when I was growing up, we had like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 and stuff like that, and we're a lot of, like, we used to be in, like, me and my brothers used to be in, like, the wrestling games.
Oh yeah.
But I'd say like one of my favorite video game series, and this is because my first job after leaving college was actually in game.
Oh, nice.
Which is a franchise here in the UK for anyone who isn't unfamiliar. And one of the first games I ever got into from a suggestion from a colleague was the Yakuza series.
Oh yeah.
The honestly the most random games ever. Like, there's side missions, but I've been hooked. So,
do you know, funnily enough, a few people have recommended it to me. So I haven't played it, but the fact that a few people have said check this one out, it suggests good things about it.
Man, you could get lost in it for hours. Like, so, like, I'm supposed to be doing the main story, but right now I'm doing just the side missions.
Yeah.
So I'm just running like a bloody club at the moment. Instead of beating someone up, I'm just running the club. So it's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. Have you guys seen the Evil Dead franchise?
Do you know, I've never seen the original, but I have seen the remake, and I liked it actually. I was expecting not to, but I thought it was all right. But that could be the fact that, you know, if someone holds the original really close to their heart, right. I don't know. Maybe this remake, it, for all I know, it could spit directly in the face of the original. But for somebody who just took that for what it was, I was actually quite impressed with it for a 2010, like 2000. It was around that time for a slasher of that period. I thought it stood out above many average slasher movies.
Yeah, dude. Like, no, I agree. So, I think it was around 2000. I can't remember what year, but I think you're about right in the year park. So my partner, Emma, she loves Evil Dead and she admires that franchise. So, maybe about a month, 2 months ago, she actually showed me the original Evil Dead.
Oh yeah,
and it was dumb fun. You know, like, obviously, you know, what they were able to achieve for like that original movie with hardly no budget is amazing. And then Evil Dead 2, I've heard, is just a remake of that one, just with a bigger budget because it did so well.
Yeah.
But then the remake in around 2010, 13 time, I can't remember. That one is really good. It's really dark.
Yeah.
I've been to bring out a new movie this year. I might be
really
mistaken on that, but yeah, I agree with Elliot. Yeah, like the new one's pretty good. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with it.
I enjoy the franchise for what it is. I'd like to see more.
Yeah, and no, I agree. And in about 2006, Ghostbusters 2016 person, I end up throwing my copy out the window. Yeah, I really don't blame you.
Good for you.
We've got here. Is there any movies in this decade that either of you think will be considered classics in 20, 30 years' time?
Ooh, that's a really good question, but it's tough, isn't it?
So do you mean from like 2020 onwards, or 2010, or?
Yeah, I was thinking from 2010 onwards personally, because that's only been 2 years worth so far. I'd probably, the one I'm thinking of most would probably be Spider-Verse, Enter the Spider-Verse. That was, I think, in a good few years' time, we're going to look back on that as like a starting point almost. There was that animation used prior, but that was the one where it really pushed it in everyone's face and everyone's aware of it and fell in love with that movie. And many people say it's the best Spider-Man movie. So I probably think it's going to be Enter the Spider-Verse. I think that's going to be looked back on really warmly in 20, 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, it already kind of is now.
Yeah.
And it was groundbreaking for the time. Well, it still is now as such, you know, but especially when it first came out. I saw it in cinemas. So, awesome film. I think I would say, we discussed earlier, Avatar.
Yeah.
And again, even if people love or don't like that movie, like 10 years later, people are still talking about Avatar. So I think that's one. For the horror, Hereditary. I'm not a fan, but Elliot likes it. But I think that one for horror, I know it's kind of was groundbreaking for A24.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think they had movies before then that were still like big names, but nothing as big as like Hereditary.
Yeah, I think I mean, Hereditary kind of feels like this might be going a bit too far, but it does kind of feel like our generation's Exorcist. It had that same clamour that our parents had when The Exorcist was hitting cinemas. Everyone at the time was talking about Hereditary. So I think you're right there. Hereditary is going to age like fine wine.
Yeah, I think so. I get where you come from with like the Exorcist comparisons as such. Like our version for it, I've got to agree. And I think
it's just different movie, but similar hype.
Right. I think that's a tough question because there's so many. Like, if we could make like a top 10, then I think that would probably be the better route to go. But I think just going off the top of our heads, I think that's probably the best answer you're gonna get. We got Cinematic here just saying favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. I've seen like one. So I can't comment. So
I've seen a few of them. None of them that good. I'd have to say Street Fighter. It's not even because of Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's because of Raul Julia as M. Bison. It's just such a great performance. He is having so much fun. And of course, there's the story that actually, without anyone really knowing about it at the time, he was actually dying of cancer whilst making this movie. And he did it simply as something for his kids to remember him by, because his kids really wanted him to do the film. So every time I watch Street Fighter, it's a naff movie, but I am still filled with that sort of good guy Raul Julia sort of feeling. I can't help but smile watching that movie and sort of raise a glass to him.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen that one. So that's quite interesting. I was
going to say, drink some alcohol when you do, because it's not a good movie.
A lot of movies are like that, though. I've got screenshots saying good evening. So, hey, how's it going, man?
Good evening.
What's your favorite Schwarzenegger quote? Oh, gotta be.
It's got to be the Dylan, you son of a. I won't swear just in case, but yeah, it's got to be that one from Predator for me.
Right. Yeah, it's a good one as well. He's got so many.
Endless.
I think it depends on like the film you're watching at the time, like the timepiece you're watching at the time, because like different decades got different quotes.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, I forgot put the cookie down. Of course, put the cookie down. Forgot about that one.
Such funny. What's your favorite James Bond? So I'm not a huge James Bond fan personally. My favorite is probably Casino Royale. From what I've seen, I've just seen Daniel Craig once, so Casino Royale's mine.
It's tough. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a lot of the early ones. I did when we started the pandemic, I decided to do a Bondathon, because at that time I hadn't seen any of them really, apart from the recent ones. So I started from Dr. No and worked my way up, but it became such a slog that I think I stopped around the Sean Connery era. Not the Sean Connery era, sorry, the Roger Moore era. I think I maybe got to like Octopussy, and I just was burnt out of James Bond at that point. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I think Casino Royale is well up there. It's really well acted, and I really like the change of pace. It does sort of it kicks the doors off its hinges and says, "Hey, we're doing something new here compared to everything else that we've done." I did always like Oddjob as a villain, so I have to think Goldfinger. Goldfinger's probably up there as well. That's a very memorable James Bond for me.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Dead in Dayman, you've got a wide more range than I have. You've seen some other ones I haven't, so I can only go off the Daniel Craig ones. But yeah, what about you? Let's get kick movie. What's your favorite James Bond?
As an actor, or?
Yeah, like I think it's a bit of a broad one. Like if it's Daniel Craig or Sean Connery or Roger Moore or whoever, they're all gonna have the best movie. Like Pierce Brosnan, for example, he's gonna have the best movie. So yeah. I think it's a tough one. Let's Get King also said Jolly Delight is a kebab on pizza, basically, very popular in South Shields.
Okay, I've had something similar to that. It wasn't called a Geordie Delight, but it was similar sort of kebab meat on a pizza. So actually, I've technically had one.
Yeah, man, I've never heard of it, so we learned something new. But then it says, absolutely love the Yakuza games. They're super serious crime dramas with so many funny side missions. Yeah, so it's like at the heart of it, it's a super serious like crime motive game.
Yeah.
But then the side missions downplay it because it's like you can do karaoke, you can do like wrestling. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. We've got a couple more. We've got Ryan saying, with comedy films not really being released anymore, what are some of your favorite comedy movies? So I tell you what's one of my favorites I've recently just rewatched with my partner, Dodgeball.
Yes, Dodgeball's brilliant. It's always held up, Dodgeball.
Right.
It's a tough one. I did recently revisit Kevin and Perry Go Large, actually, because I put it on my list for a movie every year. And I did still laugh, I have to admit. There was probably only one scene in the whole movie that probably wouldn't fly today. It was still a little bit old-fashioned. But apart from that, I was quietly impressed at how well it had aged for a film of 22 years now. That came out 22 years ago. So Kevin and Perry's a fun one. Trying to think of some other comedies now, actually, off the top of my head. It's a bit of a tough one to think of. It has been a while since some proper good comedies have come out. The Unbearable Weight of Talent, very recently, I have to admit, I had a lot of fun with that one. That was a real de-stress. I just forgot the outside world with that movie.
Yeah, I want to see that one. My partner's like a Nick Cage fan as well.
Oh yeah.
Just in case of when like we both got time off work to go, because I said I won't go see it without her, so haven't seen it yet.
Scout's honor.
I know, right? I tell you another comedy movie I've seen that I don't think gets enough attention nowadays. Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Wedding Crashers.
I have just thought of a really obscure one that I don't think anyone's going to have heard of. It's called Love, Honor and Obey. It's a British gangster movie with Ray Winstone, but it is primarily a comedy. So it is in that sense of it is about London gangsters, but it is so stupid. It's really dumb and really they know what they're doing. They're not taking themselves too seriously, and it is a real laugh a minute type of movie. But I don't know that many people who are aware of it. It came out a while ago. It's got quite a big cast as well, actually. I think Jude Law's in the movie too. But yeah, I definitely recommend that one.
Oh, cool. Man, you should maybe review that on your channel.
Yeah, I have thought about it, to be fair. I'm a very big Ray Winstone fan. I know that sounds really strange because he's not that big in the zeitgeist anymore, but I've watched a lot of his movies and I've always been impressed by him. I think he's a really cool guy.
Right. Yeah, he's done some good movies from when I've seen him. He's been in some good movies. Not so much Black Widow.
Yeah, that one we'll forget about.
We've got a couple more comments. Very quickly, I'm just going to show this one and the last two. So Cinematic says, Street Fighter movie you got to see in cinemas. So that's awesome. like you always kind of remember your first cinema experience of seeing that movie. So that's cool. And Playtendo says, highly recommend Judgment as a Yakuza spin-off. Yes, I actually, no, I don't own that one yet, but I am going to be getting it. I'm currently working for Yakuza 0 and I'm going to work all the way up. So that will be eventually. So Elliot, yeah, I'm going to bring in the two questions I got from Patreon earlier, but I wanted to wait for you to come on, but I've had quite a few questions. So the first one comes from Adam, and he says, well, for me, but I'm going to ask you as well. So have you seen Back to the Future, the musical?
I haven't. I'm aware of its existence, but I haven't seen it.
Right, cool. So the question was, because he was saying to me, apart from Back to the Future musical, what's your favorite musical? So I'm going to go in this question in terms of Broadway musicals.
Yeah.
Because film one, like Back to the Future musical, they haven't done film of that compared to obviously films. So for me, I don't know. I'll let you go first.
I'll go for movie musical because I have seen a few stage shows, but it's such a strange and varied list. And I saw some of them 20 odd years ago. Like some of them were school trips, so I don't have the greatest memory of how well it was. So, but movies, I have seen a fair few. I would have to say The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie. I watch it almost every year around Christmas time. I do sing along to the songs when I'm watching it. It has to be that one for me.
Right. I mean, it's a cool choice because for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I know, man, but the thing is, like, I can respect what Tim Burton did. I can respect that it's so beloved by so many people that's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess I just fall in the hot take category if I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, not everything works for everybody. It's fair.
Right.
Yeah, there's loads of big movies like that I remember. Do you remember when Joker came out? Everyone was raving for it, and I sort of walked out going, it was all right. I was very sort of mild on it personally.
Well, dude, that's fair. I mean, again, it's kind of opposite. Like, I love that movie, and you're not a huge fan, you know. So
yeah,
that's fair. So to answer the question, I think in terms of like stage musicals, I love one called Blood Brothers. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I am aware of it. Actually, funnily enough, it was a school trip. I didn't get to go to it, but everyone came back and said they were in floods of tears from it. So I think it's meant to be quite sad.
Yeah, there's a tragic story to it for sure. No spoilers, but it's a tragic story. But yeah, dude, awesome. Really, really good musical. In terms of movies, so for me, I actually got to experience this one in cinemas. It was like a re-release. And I've liked musicals being like younger. I've started to get into them more as I've been getting older. But a couple of years ago, they showed The Sound of Music on at the cinema, and they actually kept the original interval.
Oh, great.
So it was crazy because about halfway through, it was like, oh, we'll be taking a break. And I was like, what do you mean taking a break? I think as a projector for what? But like, no, the cinema staff actually came in and be like, oh, yeah, like we're going to do this tradition. You take a 15-minute break and you come back. That musical floored me. So good. If no one's ever seen it, Sound of Music, I would say for myself.
Well, that sounds awesome. I love it when cinemas do that. It makes it almost like you're time traveling back to when the film came out. I believe, I think Pulp Fiction did something similar. They showed it in the original footage as it was. They took an interval. And I think as well, they might have even shown like old-fashioned trailers before the film. I've never actually been there to experience it, but I would love to do that because it feels like such a time traveling situation, like you've gone back to 1994 to witness it for the first time.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. So like sometimes like at cinemas like near me, and I'm not sure it's the same for you, Elliot, but sometimes they'll put on classic movies.
Yeah.
And I've got a series on my channel called Classic Movie Trip for whenever they do put a classic movie on, I'll go see it. And a lot of them I haven't seen. So like they had like Independence Day. I'd never seen it before, seen it there. Some Like It Hot. Like I'd never seen that, but that was a great movie. So you know, like so many, and you're right though. It made me think like wow, first time ever experiencing this is in the cinema. You know, like it's nothing better.
Yeah. It makes it more tangible, doesn't it?
Right. No, I agree. And then the second question we've got, which is actually an interesting one, and I purposely saved this one for you. So I was from a patron called Michael, and he said, what are your thoughts on horror remakes? His opinion was that he doesn't mind them because it kind of gives like younger audiences a perspective of what that horror franchise is all around. But I think this is an interesting one. So so his question is basically, what's your opinions on horror remake nowadays and the fact that Hollywood are kind of like spewing them out?
I kind of agree with him, actually. I'm impartial to them. I've witnessed many, recent memory being the recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix, where I just found myself rolling my eyes through that movie and just sort of waiting for it to finish. And it dampens your spirits towards your love towards the original when they do that. So I don't love it being spewed out, but at the same time, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I also get ideas of, wouldn't it be great if they did this in a new Freddy Krueger movie? As much as we don't need another Freddy Krueger movie, this would be a great idea for it. So I am a little bit of a hypocrite. If I think there is something to be offered there, I think they should go for it. And it wasn't perfect, but Candyman, the recent Candyman, I think that's the right way to go about it. I don't think they necessarily nailed it, but it was much, much better. It could have been an absolute disaster, that movie. But I thought they did it with a lot of respect and a lot of love. So, yeah, I'm real 50-50 on it. I know it's a bit of a cop-out of an answer. But yes, if they do it right, I'm all for it.
Yeah, dude, I think I've got to agree because like some of them that they've done is great. Like, for example, we were talking earlier about The Evil Dead, when they kind of did a remake / like new take on it, like about 10 years ago now. Like that was really good. And if they can get it right, like the new Texas Chainsaw, by all means, it's got a lot of plot holes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go in there for a killing spree, you're going to get a killing spree. And
Yeah.
I just went in there to be like, right, I'll just take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't like Halloween Kills, but for me personally, I enjoyed that movie. And I don't know, like for example, for me, I think one thing that they've kind of been doing right in Hollywood's front is the new Halloween movie, the new Scream movie.
Yeah.
And I think there's another one, I can't remember the top of my head, but they've actually been giving those killers big credibility. Like Ghostface was maybe the most menacing Ghostface has ever been. It was just brutal, killing, not just tripping over bloody phone lines like they had him in the original like Scream movie, and then obviously spoofed him in Scary Movie and stuff. But like Michael Myers in the new one, although I admit there's plot holes, ultimately if you think about it, nothing really happened in that movie. But you knew, like, right, if you step in front of Michael Myers, you're dead. He's not just going to stab you and walk off. He's going to kill you.
Oh, yeah.
I think they gave him a menacing presence about him in that movie. So I think in that regard, like, that's doing it right, because it's generally giving these killers a new menacing vibe. But I think they've got to execute the plot line as well, though. Like,
that's the beauty of horror as well, actually. I hate the term elevated horror, but there are layers to it. It depends what you're in the mood for. Do you want to really think about your horror? Like there's like The Wailing or The Tale of Two Sisters, which is another Korean movie that I was completely immersed in, but I was immersed in the story and the twists and the turns. It really wasn't that much about the horror. Or do you want to just actually have a beer, get a pizza in, and chuck on a really naff throwaway 2002 slasher movie that's probably got like 14% on Rotten Tomatoes? Sometimes it's actually good fun. It's up to you what you're feeling in that moment.
Right. Yeah, man, I've got to agree, and I think we're both kind of on similar opinions on that one. I think that question's more for like if next time, Michael, give us a specific movie. And we'll give you our opinion. We've got Adam joining us. He said, "Hey guys, how are you both doing?"
Hi, Adam.
Doing good.
Doing great.
Adam, if you're not subscribed to Elliot, definitely go subscribe. Awesome guy. And Classic Tunes also says, "Hey Mike and I.M.O, how are you guys?" Yeah, doing good.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and again, man, go subscribe to Elliot if you already haven't. So we haven't got any other questions. So Elliot, I'm going to ask you, man. So how did you get started on YouTube?
Funnily enough, I was at university studying, it's actually film studies was what I was studying. And I started maybe 2 or 3 months before the pandemic happened. So literally as I'd got my hands on a camera, my hands were back off a camera. And I'd been given the slightest taste of it. And I was still itching to get more of it. And we didn't know how long this thing was going to go on for. So I took things into my own hands and I decided, I'm going to give it a go. I'm really nervous. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've done no research, but I need to do something with my time. And it really did just sort of take off. It did a lot better than I ever expected. You probably know from my reviews, I'm quite the pessimist. I always go into things a little bit negative. So when it was doing so well, I was really caught by surprise. And as you might know from yourself, you do get a real confidence boost when your channel's doing well, people are commenting on it and they're saying great video. It is a nice aspect to have in my life. So it's just stuck around basically and taken over a little bit too, actually.
Right. Yeah, man, no, I completely agree. Like, it's a case of just getting out there, doing it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think if it doesn't work, worst case is you put a video up, you can delete it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right. Like, so me and Elliot were actually talking before the stream. And we were both seeing, if we both respectively went back and saw our first video compared to our most recent upload, like the difference is like bar none. At least for myself, anyway. But yeah, it's kind of just crazy, like how far you come. And you're right though, Elliot. Like, so one thing I learned last year was I did a gaming convention in London that I got like a creator pass for the first ever time.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I was just like, screwed, I'm going to get my vlog kit out. I'm going to start filming.
Yeah.
And not like just like, secretly have my phone like this and be like, like filming like that. So yeah, you're right. But I think that confidence has come from YouTube and being like, some people care to watch my videos. Some people, obviously some people don't, but some people care about what I have to say. And the same for you, you know, like recently, for anyone who's aware, like Elliot put a review out for The Northman and a blast off into the stratosphere. And because I mean, like when you put a video out, Elliot, so for example, Elliot did release a Doctor Strange review today, a spoiler and non-spoiler one. Like, do you kind of set yourself like a target for when you release a video being like, right, I want to get to X amount of views?
No, not really. I suppose I judge it as and when it happens, and then I gauge it as, oh, that one didn't hit quite as well as I thought. I generally think I have an idea of how well it's going to do. Maybe it'll hit 100, 150. Maybe this one's going to do really well because no one's talking about this one. And then sometimes some of them catch me completely off guard. I did a review for Formula One Drive to Survive on Netflix. Yeah, and I honestly thought that one was just going to be passed in the wind. No one's going to care. And I think I racked up 300 views in the first 2 hours of it being published. It completely caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to do so well. So in things like that happening, it sort of taught me to not set an expectation because I'm probably going to be wrong in my expectation. But I do, yeah, of course. I have an idea of, I think this one's going to do really well, or not sure on this one. It's a bit of a coin flip every time, but ultimately, as long as I'm happy with the video or I feel I have something I want to say about it, then I'll go for it. For example, actually, I have been watching Moon Knight, but I haven't done a review for it because I have watched other people's reviews and I actually feel like I'm just going to say the same as everyone else has. I don't feel like I've got anything fresh to really offer to anyone. If people are really clamoring for my take on it, then by all means, I'll give you a Moon Knight review. But personally, I didn't really feel the need to add it to the workload personally.
Right. Yeah, like, no, man, I agree. So it's like, sometimes I guess you get a feeling and be like, right, I think this is going to do okay. And yes, some that do shock you. Like recently, like you mentioned about your Formula One video. Like I did one for Sonic when it first came out, and I thought, well, you know, kind of the big boys and girls and stuff have already done their reviews. Like sometimes I feel like, right, mine's just going to go under the radar because first. But that video did like 2,300, and I was like, why? To an extent, you know. But yeah, you're right. I think it kind of just depends on that. And like Moon Knight, like similar to yourself, I've just finished it also, but I haven't really got a desire to put a review out. Yeah. You know, and it's just one of those
totally
things.
Related to what you said about the big YouTubers. Sometimes I see they've done it and I'll actually go, damn it. I get annoyed that they're doing their job.
Right. Because one of the issue is, especially with us guys that review movies, is kind of if you're not one of the first in that pile, there's 1,000 people in the wings doing the exact same, especially when it comes to Marvel or DC.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the most common ones. So yeah, man, no, it's cool hearing your opinion on it. And we're going to be wrapping up very, very shortly. We've got 2 more questions here. Well, firstly, not really a question, but Adam said he's just subscribed to you, Elliot.
Thank you.
You've gained 2 subs at least, so that's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So again, anyone who's tuning in now or after, please go subscribe to Elliot. The link is in the description box. And Adam also asks, what music are you into?
Oh, I actually, do you know, I'm quite popular in my music taste because I really do like a bit of everything. My music playlists are so weird and so varied. I like Frank Sinatra. I like heavy rap. I like heavy rock. I like a bit of Black Sabbath. I like some of the modern stuff. There isn't much I don't like, to be honest. Again, it sort of depends on my mood. The gym often dictates my playlist, actually. If we're trying to go for it, it's going to be hard rock, heavy metal, that type of thing to really go the extra mile. But if I'm just driving around, I'll put on a bit of anything, actually. Sometimes I'll just go for the radio. They'll put on some classic hits from the 60s and I'll find myself singing along to it. So my music taste is really wide, really varied, and probably not for everyone. Maybe select parts of my taste is for everyone.
Right.
How about you? What about your music tastes?
Dude, so I'm a big fan of country music.
Oh, nice.
And to be honest, though, like the country music I listen to is more like the new school, where it's more like pop country. Yeah. But to me, it sounds like pop country anyway. So I'm into that. But then, like you said, like at the gym, like I listen to like anime theme songs.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I can see that working, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but then like on the flip side of that, I listen to a band called Fact that are Japanese metal screamo band, you know. So I guess it kind of just a bit like you, varies from like what mood I'm in, but most of the time I would say country. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit of a maybe that's just my old age. But yeah, so well, Adam himself, he's into like a lot of older school music, like Roy Orbison, the Beatles, and
nice.
So he's into like a wide range.
Yeah, great shouts there. I'm a big fan of the Beatles. I am a Liverpool fan, so the Beatles, I'm absolutely nuts for them for sure.
Oh, dude, you would be best friends with Adam then. He loves the Beatles. But yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up because it's just after 10:30. But I just want to thank everyone firstly for watching Z Talks in this kind of first live stream weekly episode. We'll be seeing again next week at 9 o'clock. Again, for anyone tuning in after the fact. I also want to give a big thank you to Elliot as well for taking this time to do this. If you guys have enjoyed Elliot, please leave comments and let us know. And I'll be more happy to have Elliot on as like, weekly if we can. That would be really, really cool. Elliot, before you go, man, have you got any kind of final words for anyone watching?
Thank you for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. This is my first time doing a live stream, so I've been a little bit nervous.
Awesome.
I really wasn't sure how it was going to go. But this has actually been really good fun. And Mike, you're really easy to talk to. It's been really straightforward doing this and a lot of fun chatting to you. So thank you for having me on your channel. And I look forward to doing it again as well.
No, dude, of course. And Playtendo, thanks for the kind words.
Yes, thank you.
No, dude, yeah, I wanted to have you on because I've been wanting to like have you on for a stream for a while. And I only do kind of like on my channel, I only do like collaboration projects for like if I'm doing like a filmography or if I'm doing like a spoiler discussion live stream and something. And as you just recently come over to your channel, I was like, right, I need to have Elliot on. And I thought, what better way if I'm doing a weekly live stream, see if he's available. And dude, I think you were one of the few people available. But I want you as a guest anyway and have maybe someone else as an extra. But yeah, man, you know, like I think you've done a cracking job for your first time. It's just been just a chilled, laid back time. And that's what I want this to be, just for anyone watching, just a chilled, laid back conversation. Come ask questions. And yeah, as well, like if you guys are interested, leave any comments on this video. And next week, me and Elliot will probably be back again. We'll answer those questions. So we'll come prepared with some more questions. But yeah, guys, until the next time that me and Elliot see you, we'll see you later.
Take care.